हेलो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप लोग। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब अच्छे होंगे। चैप्टर नंबर 62, द ब्रेड ईटर्स, फ्रॉम द बुक थिफ रिटन बाय मार्कस ज़्यूज़ैक। It had been a long and eventful year in Molching, and it was finally drawing to a close. Liesel spent the last few months of 1942 consumed by thoughts of what she called three desperate men. She wondered where they were and what they were doing. One afternoon, she lifted the accordion from its case and polished it with a rag. Only once, just before she put it away, did she take the step that Mama could not. Mama could not. She placed her finger on one of the keys and softly pumped the bellows. Rosa had been right. It only made the room feel emptier. Whenever she met Rudy, she asked if there had been any word from his father. Sometimes he described to her in detail one of Alexis Steiner's letters. By comparison, the one letter her own papa had sent was something of a disappointment. Max, of course, was entirely up to her imagination. It was with great optimism that she envisioned him walking alone on a deserted road. Once in a while, she imagined him falling into a doorway of safety somewhere, his identity card enough to fool the right person. The three men would turn up everywhere. She saw her papa in the window at school. Max often sat with her by the fire. Alexis Steiner arrived when she was with Rudy, staring back at them after they had slammed and bikes down on Munich Street and looked into the shop. Look at those suits, Rudy could say to her, her head and hands against the glass, all going to waste. Strangely, one of the Legion's favorite distractions was Frohot's affair. The reading sessions included Wednesday now as well, and they finished the water abridged version of the Whistler and were on to the Dream Carrier. The old woman sometimes made tea or gave Leisure some soup that are infinitely better than Mama's, less watery. Between October and December, there had been one more parade of Jews, with one to follow. As on the previous occasion, Legion has rose to Munich Street, this time to see if Max Vanderberg was among them. She was torn between the obvious urge to see him, to know that he was still alive, and an absence that could mean any number of things, one of which being freedom. In mid-December, a small collection of Jews and other miscreants was brought down Munich Street again to the Chow. Parade number 3. Rudy walked purposefully down Himmel Street and returned from number 35 with a small bag and two bikes. You game, Somensch? The contents of Rudy's bag: six stale pieces of bread broken into quarters. They pedaled ahead of the parade towards the Chow and stopped at an empty piece of road. Rudy passed. Leisure the bag. Take a handful. I am not sure this is a good idea. He slapped some bread onto her palm. Your papa did it. How could she argue? It was worth a whipping. If we are fast, we won't get caught. He started bread dispersing the bread. So move it, Somensh. Liesel couldn't help herself. There was the trace of a grin on her face as she and Rudy Stina, her best friend, distributed the pieces of bread on the road. When they were finished, they took their bikes and hid amongst the Christmas trees. The road was cold and straight. It wasn't long till the soldiers came with the Jews. In the tree shadows, Liesel watched the boy, how things had changed from food stealer to bread giver. His blonde hair, although darkening, was like a candle. She heard his stomach growl, and he was giving people bread. Was this Germany? Was this Nazi Germany? The first soldier did not see the bread. He was not hungry, but the first Jew saw it. He ragged hand, reached down and picked a piece up and shoved it deliriously to his mouth. Is that Mag's leisure thought? She could not see properly and moved to get a better view. Hey, Rudy was livid. Don't move. If they find us here and match us to the bread, we are history. Liesel continued. More Jews were bending down and taking bread from the road and from the edge of the trees. The book thief examined each and every one of them. Max Vanderberg was not there. Relief was short-lived. It stirred itself around her just as one of the soldiers noticed a prisoner's drop a hand to the road for a piece of bread. Everyone was ordered to stop. The road was closely examined. The prisoners chewed as fast and silently as they could. Collectively, they gulped. The soldier picked up a few pieces and studied each side of the road. The prisoners also looked in there. One of the soldiers was striding over to the girl by the closest trees. Next, he saw the boy. Both began to run. They could choose different directions under the rafters of branches and the tall ceiling of the trees. Don't stop running, Elijah. What about the bikes? Drove shit on them. Who cares? They ran, and after 100 meters, the hunched breath of the soldier directly over it sidled up next to her, and she waited for the accompanying hand. She was lucky. All she received was a boot up the arse and a fistful of words. Keep running, little girl. You don't belong here. She ran, and she did not stop for at least another mile. Branches sliced her arms. It Pine cones rolled at her feet, and the taste of her Christmas needles chimed inside her lungs. A good 45 minutes had passed by the time she made it back, and Rudy was sitting by the rusty bikes. He had collected up what was left on the bread and was chewing on a stiff portion. I told you not to get too close, he said. She showed him her backside. Have I got a footprint? यहाँ पे होता है हमारा चैप्टर नंबर 62 ख़त्म। मिलेंगे हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में विद चैप्टर नंबर 63 द हिडन स्केच बुक। बाय फॉर नाउ माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, और मुझे कमेंट्स में ज़रूर बताइए नेक्स्ट बुक कौन सी लेनी चाहिए। थैंक यू एंड बाय फॉर नाउ, बाय।